This is product placement.
Well, hello. My name is Fritz Maurer, and I'm the owner of Regeneration Therapy and Counseling, along with my wife Gretchen. And we are excited today to introduce Ruth Hartunian-Alumbaugh. And she is a music therapist, and we, again, are adding this to our repertoire of paradigms in helping people. And so Ruth is going to talk today about music therapy and how that can support people in their healing, recovery, and just the process of life, if I may, right?
Yeah.
So,
I like that you use a musical term. You said repertoire.
Yeah,
that
there
was
you go.
good. I
Yep.
like that.
So talk to us a little bit. What is music therapy?
So music therapy is the clinically proven way of helping people with lots of different issues, lots of challenges. So whether they're emotional or physical, whether they're whatever things that they're dealing with in life, music therapy is a great point of entry. So if there are physical limitations, music therapy enters. If there are emotional things, music therapy enters. Think about how music is a very soulish thing, and it connects to each of us differently. And so the use of music, certain kinds of music for certain people, depending on who the person is our place of where we enter, and then we go from there. So less people think that this is like music lessons, even though we're sitting behind a piano and I can do music lessons. This is not music education. This is using music as a tool to accomplish therapeutic goals. Your personal goals that you're working on maybe with Fritz or other therapists as we work together as a team.
Right. Yeah, and I like that because more and more of the research is showing, especially in trauma recovery, that this process, right? I also like the word soul that you use, that the trauma has impacted people in their soul and in their spirit. And so any process or tool that helps people express what's going on inside and to process that information just leads to them to reduce anxiety, reduce depression. I personally think I love music. I play guitar and I sing. And,
Yes, you do.
And it is part of my strategy for my own
Music is kind of
self-care.
like the jumping off point. It introduces maybe what we may want to consider during a session, and then we go from there. And the beauty, I think, of music is the fact that it offers the nonverbal element of expression. And since we are all creative people, because we have a creator who created us that way, when we create, whether it's music or whether it's songs or whether it's poems that are set to music, any of those things, when we create them, that brings us to a different level of connecting to ourselves as well as the world around us.
The creative process is so important, right? Because God has created us. He's created our brain to engage in creativity.
Yes.
And so to have I think, a full life, to have a life where we can enjoy God's creation, there's something, I don't know, maybe talk about that a little bit. There's something about engaging that creative
It
process.
is creativity that brings life, it brings meaning, it brings, I believe it brings revelation as far as who we are, because sometimes we don't have the eyes to see things, but I am sure that all of us have had this experience where we're listening to a song and something inside of our heart changes. And we listen and we pay attention. It grips us, it draws us in, and it either convicts us or it says things like, I'm a winner, I can do this. It gives us encouragement. Or on the total flip side of this, it's maybe I'm grieving, maybe I'm mourning, maybe there are losses, maybe I need to sit and be present in my grief, because in that there is also healing. As long as we don't sit there too long.
Right. Yeah, well, it's about the processing.
It
And the
is.
music helps people process that and work through it.
Mm-hmm.
So does a person need to have a musical talent to be able to do music therapy?
No, not at all. In fact, if you can't carry a tune in a bucket, it's fine too. You don't have to have any of the musical talent. I'm the one who brings the professional aspect of the music to you. If you want to create music, if you want to put your poem to words, if you want to write songs that express things that's helpful to you, we can do that. But in a therapeutic relationship, as I get to know who you are, I'm praying through the whole process. You can believe that for sure. I'm also considering, I'm asking you, what kind of music do you like? because I'm not going to bring anything to you that you really hate.
At times, are you playing music for people as you're engaging with them? Is that
Yes,
okay.
I mean sometimes music is I can provide it in a more passive way where you're the listener, or maybe we're dealing with trying to deal with anxiety and coping with issues and things like that, and maybe you need to relax, and maybe I am playing, but music is also something where it draws us in, and so we would do things together, whether it's one-to-one or whether in a group setting, or maybe you're here with your family and you have things that you want to convey and use music that way. There's
A lot of possibilities.
lots of them, and I maybe missed some.
Yeah. So, Ruth, I have mentioned a number of challenges that people face, anxiety and depression. Can you give us an example of some interventions or ways in which you've worked with people, some clinical examples?
Yeah, I think there's a number of ways to go on this, and it's always individual specific. So it always depends on who I'm working with. So in assessment, which is an important part of this whole process, in assessment I would be asking questions like, what kind of music do you like? Are there certain things you don't like? Are there things that cause you to feel aggravated or really upset about things? And I'll probe a little bit more about like why. Because the music is just a tool. You know, the music helps me understand, you know, what you're dealing with as far as your issues or whatever you want to call them. I don't know what to call it. So, you know, progressive relaxation is a possibility for some people.
Right, that's right.
Where we use music and you use the music as a focal point and we tense and release, you know, from head to toe. And,
okay.
You know,
Yeah.
and we use a certain kind of music to do that, depending on who the person is.
So, Ruth, I'm so glad we've had an opportunity to sit here and to talk and to share in what you do in helping people. So, but I also know that you've been doing this for a long time. And so you had some training, but you also have life experience here. So, as we wrap up, would you like to say a few things about that?
Sure. I like to think of this as it really has been a lifelong pursuit. I have been working on this craft for 50 years. So I started taking piano lessons when I was 8, thanks to my awesome parents. And so this has been a work in progress for that long. And I consider what I do a calling rather than a job. I have been hoping and waiting for something like this to happen where I live for decades. And decades ago, I was not in a position to be the solution.
Okay.
But now I can be a part of the solution.
Yeah.
And to me, this is beyond exciting.
Great.
So I thank God for the opportunity. Thank you for inviting me.
Sure. And we're excited to have you on board, and we're looking forward to this expanding and people coming and sharing in the experience with you. And so, again, thank you for watching us today and for being a part of regeneration therapy counseling and coaching. You can go to our website. There'll be more information about Ruth on there, and also contact information. And so we look forward to seeing how God is going to unfold this and helping people. And that's always a good thing.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thanks.